Hello champions, and welcome to another edition of Champions Online TV. Have you been looking for a build that prefers to dodge hits as opposed to taking them? Or are you trying to find a way to get your dodge chance up to 100%? Well, our build experts have put together a dodge-based tank that's perfect for holding aggro on mobs and bosses while keeping yourself in the fight by dodging most, if not all, incoming damage. Once you grasp the basic idea behind this build, you'll be able to make variations to match the idea you have in mind for your hero. Okay, let's start off with our super stats. First, you'll want to take Constitution. The specs in the Constitution tree are going to be vital to what we're doing. Then we'll round it out with Strength and Dexterity. Even though Dexterity is a secondary super stat, it's going to be the most important stat and the one we invest most in. For our innate talent, we'll be picking the Master, since the stats it provides will add 30 points to our super stats. As a bonus, we'll be getting +8 to our recovery stat, which is nice for our energy management. For our talents, we'll be taking the ones that add the most to our super stats, but we found out it helps if you devote 1 or 2 of your talent selections to raising your recovery and endurance. This will help minimize the times that you run out of energy when trying to use your strongest powers. Remember, picking talents is the best time to tweak your stats, since most of your gear and mobs are going to be devoted directly to your super stats. Let's move on to our specialization tree. Unyielding and Resilient are great for the small bonus they provide to crowd control resistance and knocks, respectively. Tough will give us a nice boost to our HP as well. You can put whatever you feel most comfortable with in these 3 stats. Now for the most important specialization selection we'll make, Deflection. Make sure you put 3 points in this. It eclipses all other dodge increasing specializations. Round out the tree by selecting Armored for the defensive bonus that it provides. Our next specialization tree is Warden. Put 3 points in Fortified Gear for even higher defensive gains, and then 2 points in Ruthless to take advantage of our high critical chance. The best defense will take advantage of the high defensive stat we plan on getting. Tenacious is a no-brainer for any build that plans on taking hits. Fill out both of these specializations. Our final tree will be Vindicator. On the first tier, fill out Aggressive Stance and Merciless. Aggressive Stance will interact with the specializations we took in the Warden tree to create a loop that will raise our offense and defense to great heights. In the second tier, we'll take Modified Gear to take even greater advantage of this loop. For this build, we took 2 active offenses, so offensive expertise will be perfect for us. However, if you don't plan on taking 2 active offenses, either one of the specializations on tier 2 will do just fine, such as Focus Strikes. In the Mastery tree, we played it safe and went with Constitution Mastery. While Warden Mastery might be tempting due to the fact we'll be using combo attacks, Constitution Mastery lets us focus more of our gear on raising our dexterity. That completes our specialization tree. Now we can move on to our power selections. There are only a few main powers you need to take to make your dodge reach 100%, so let's get those first. We'll start off by taking an energy builder for the martial arts power frame. Then, we'll take both Thundering Kicks and Crashing Wave Kick. A 3-hit combo of Thundering Kicks provides you with a bonus to your dodge chance. Crashing Wave Kick will stun your opponents, making it useful for both PvP and PvE. However, its most important aspect is its advantage, Subtlety of the Tides. Make sure you make Thundering Kicks a rank 3 power, and that you take the advantage for Crashing Wave Kick. For our passive, we'll be taking Lightning Reflexes, an obvious choice, and one that will provide us with most of our avoidance rating. Of course, raise it to rank 3. The last power we have to take is Parry, with its advantage, the Elusive Monk. This will make Parry raise our dodge, avoidance, and knock resistance whenever we use melee attacks. In place of Parry, you could take Fluidity with its advantage. However, this is not recommended, since your window to use your stronger attacks is already limited due to the fact you'll need to refresh the buffs provided by Crashing Wave Kick and Thundering Kick periodically. Finally, we can take any form from the martial arts power frame. But because we're going to be dodging so much, we'll go ahead and take the form of the Master. Those are all the powers we're going to need, so let's see how they work together to get us to 100% dodge chance. As you can see, because of parry's advantage, any melee attacks we make will raise our dodge chance. Using Crashing Wave Kick activates its advantage, which gives all our melee attacks a chance to raise our dodge chance even further. Once we use Thundering Kicks, our dodge chance should be close to, if not over, 100%. Simply remember to keep the buffs provided by these two powers refreshed, and you should be able to dodge anything that comes your way. If you're still having trouble reaching 100% dodge, a small trick is to use any swinging traveling power and take the flipping advantage. This will most likely get you to 100%, but the downside is you'll have to have your travel power constantly activated, and if you have it disabled, you'll lose the advantage. As far as gear goes, you'll want to make sure you use mods and secondaries that raise your dexterity to around 400. Using armadillo or samurai secondaries will do just fine. In your primary offensive gear, staff for either offense by equipping impact mods, or use growth mods to raise your constitution. In your primary defense, equip a Gambler Lucky Gem for the dodge boost. Finally, use mods and gear that raise your max energy in the primary utility slot. You'll receive huge amounts of energy back from your rush buff as well as from gaining stacks of focus. You want to be able to catch these energy returns. Alternatively, you can equip mods that grant you a cost discount to your powers. Okay, so now that you know how to make a dodge tank in general, let's finish picking the powers specific to this build. We need a dragon power so we can get the buff Rush, which will give us a huge energy return. In this case, we'll take Dragon Uppercut. For our major damage dealer, we'll pick Haymaker. If you dislike its knock ability or you're finding yourself low on energy, swap this power out for Burning Chi Fist. Either way, make this power selection a rank 3. For our heal, we're gonna go with Bountiful Chi Resurgence. Make it a rank 2 power, then take its advantage, Resurgent Reki, which gives you a tick of healing based off of each time you dodge, which in our case is going to be quite a lot. For our active defense, we picked Masterful Dodge. It might seem like an odd choice, since your dodge is always going to be near or at 100% most of the time, but you'll want this power for those instances where you're held and unable to refresh your dodge buffs. We'll need an AoE power to keep aggro on mobs. We could have taken Dragon Kick in place of Dragon Uppercut, and use it as a way to get both the rush buff and attack multiple enemies at once. It also has the advantage Lashing Dragon Tail, which raises dodge and avoidance. While it is a valid choice, it lacks the crucial Challenging Strikes advantage that we need. So in this case, we'll take 100 Hands, since it fits with the theme of the build. Make it a rank 3 power, as well as take its advantage, Challenging Strikes, which will boost this power's threat generation. In order to keep our DPS high, we'll need an active defense power. Intensity gives us a damage boost, as well as boost 2 of our super stats, Strength and Dexterity, making Lightning Reflex dodge for even more, as well as increasing the amount of dodge provided by Deflection. We'll also need a lunge power. If you are leveling with this build, make sure you take it early on. It doesn't really matter what lunge power you take, but you'll want to give it the advantage Nailed to the Ground and Crippling Challenge. Lastly, we'll take a second active offensive power to take advantage of the offensive expertise specialization we took earlier. Put the remaining advantage points in the powers you feel you'll utilize the most. Okay, so let's take this build out for a spin to see what it can do. There are basically 2 steps to fighting with the martial artist version of this dodge tank. The first step is the same for any dodge tank. Start by using Crashing Wave Kick, followed by a 3-hit combo of Thundering Kicks. If you're fighting a boss, the second step is to simply alternate between using your Dragon Attack, Dragon Uppercut in our case, and Haymaker. Dragon Uppercut keeps your energy levels high, and Haymaker does the damage. Notice we aren't using any Challenging Strike powers. Haymaker does enough damage on its own to garner aggro from your opponents. Remember, you have 2 active offenses, so keep rotating through the both of them as soon as you can. This will keep your DPS and your threat generation as high as possible. During all of this, you'll need to refresh your dodge buffs every so often by using Crashing Wave Kick, followed by Thundering Kicks. It may seem like a highly involved process, but as you can see here, we're dodging most of his attacks, and Hypan is focused completely on our character. None of the other players are able to pull away aggro from us, and this includes another level 40 tank and a level 40 melee DPS. If you are fighting waves of enemies, you'll want to rely on 100 Fist. Get in the best position so you can hit as many enemies as possible. Don't forget that once again, you'll need to use Crashing Wave Kick and Thundering Kicks to keep your dodge up. Try not to use Haymaker, as knocking an enemy far away could mean your ally has to go and chase them down. Also, only use Bountiful Chi Resurgence when you need it. Using it will lower the amount of damage that you do. As long as you keep your dodge up, you should be fine on health most of the time. That's how dodge tanks work for the most part, and while you could build a copy of this martial artist build, there are many other ways to build a dodge tank. We'll try to cover them in future videos, and if there's anything else you'd like us to build or do a video on, let us know in the comments. Until next time, champions.